If you got yourself a camper and you need to wire up a brake controller on an older GM, stay tuned. Fantastic TV tech tips coming at you. Working on a 2000 Savana van right now, and we need to put a 7-pin brake controller on here. This is what I bought here from Amazon. It'll plug in to your pre-wired. If you already have a 4-pin, you're in good shape. If you don't, you can wire up a 4-pin. It's pretty easy off your tail lights. So you need to get this to the back of your van, on the back of your van. I'm gonna mount it on my bumper here. And then here's my 4-pin that's already on the van. I'm going to connect it to. The hardest part for me was figuring out what to do wiring wise, because basically you've got everything at the back of your vehicle right now, but you do need to get your brake controller to the back of the vehicle, which is the blue wire here. You need to get some power to the back too. When you get that power back here, you'll be able to have power going to whatever vehicle you have behind you. And there's also a reverse light here too, but I'm not going to worry about that today. This is my first time doing this, right? So what I had to figure out was what wire do you need to connect your brake controller to, okay? So I'm gonna take you under here. This right here with the white clip there, that is your brake switch. And on there is like 6 wires come out of there. The white wire is what you want. You're gonna wanna tie your brake controller into the white wire coming off there. That was the big thing that I wasn't sure about. And then I'm gonna run it through over here where I'm pointing. There's a rubber grommet. That's where I'm going to run my wires through the firewall, out to the engine bay, and then ultimately under the van and back to the receiver. I don't have 2 hands to do this because I'm filming, but the way you figure out, I mean, you look at a wire schematic, but also I confirmed, and thanks to my friend Bobo, the white wire, you should be able to just put a test lamp onto this ground over there, and then when you depress your brake pedal, you press your brake pedal in, your test light, whenever you poke into the white there on that white wire, your test light should go on. That'll confirm what your brake light is. So if you have a different vehicle, you might have a different color wire, but this is a 2000 Savana 1500. And for a quick inventory of what we're going to use for this job, we have a brake controller, the cheapest possible, well, one of the cheaper ones on Amazon that was pretty highly rated. It's supposedly like a Taconcha, but it's an off-brand. I bought this 7-pin, which will wire into your pre-existing 4-pin, and then you will have some extra wires that are going to ultimately connect up to your brake controller. You're going to need this marine wire, 10 gauge. I got 50 feet because I might be doing 2 vans with this. You can see it's got a red and a black in there. One of these will be for your brake controller, and one of these will be off your battery. Some connectors. I'm not sure which ones I needed to tie into the brake line, so I got those splice connectors. We've got a couple of circuit breakers. I had these already. I know you need a 40, and I think you need a 20. I had a 30, so I might have to get a 20, but I already had these on hand. And then you're gonna need some 10 gauge connectors. If you want to use shrink wrap, all that stuff, go for it. But this is what I'm working with for this job here. Just trying to get the old trailer wired up so we can take it vanning. I heated this up with a propane torch, and I poked through this rubber grommet back here, right there. And this is the 10 gauge wire that I'm going to be running inside the van. One of these is going to connect straight to the brake controller, to the blue wire. I'm going to use the red for that. And the black is going to be our power, which is going to have a circuit breaker between here and there. But this is what's on the inside. Here's how I mounted this. I have the brake controller, 2 little screws into the dash right here. This comes in, pops out. There's a plug on the back. You got 4 wires coming off the back here. The red one needs spliced in with your brake switch. The blue one's going to go straight back to the trailer. The white one's your ground, and the black one's your hot. So we're going to bring it connected here through the firewall. Okay, so underneath here, it's all tied up tight. You can't really see a whole lot. Firewall here, 2000 Savana van. The red one's going to the blue, directly in the back of the brake controller. The black one is our power. That one's also going in the back of the brake controller. Also on the controller, we have the white, which is, I grounded it. It's grounded right up in here. I grounded off of this where my pinky's at. On the inside of that, I tested the ground. It's a good ground. You could probably also get yourself a nut that fits over these. Just add a nut to this to ground there if you wanted to. And then the red gets spliced into the white on the back of your brake switch right here. It's spliced in and all taped up. Everything's tidy up above. So now we move into the engine bay. We're gonna put some circuit breakers. Here's how I pulled the power from the front. Okay, the battery's on the left side. The battery's disconnected while you do all this. But I pulled 2 hot ones off of right here. Right, there's 2 hot wires. One, they're red and black. It's a little confusing, but I have this type of wire. So this relay is going to the brake controller, and then the power is going to go into the brake controller. And then this other one, the power comes in here, and then it goes out. And this one is the one that's going to go all the way to the hitch pin. So this is a 40 amp circuit breaker. This is a 30 amp circuit breaker. I tried to keep this continuous. So actually this wire right here, this comes out of the firewall, right? This red wire, and that's my blue. This is brake controller blue on a red that goes from the controller all the way back. And I'm leaving that continuous so I didn't have to cut it. In the meantime, I cut the black in the middle of this because one of this blacks goes through this relay into the brake controller, and then power goes into that. And then where I cut it, I just use the other side of that power on the back half. So this is going to run all the way back to the trailer through the relay, through the power, through the 40 amp. So this is your steady power for your camper or whatever you're towing, and then this is your brake controller. But again, it's kind of weird the way I use this type of wire. And then I just had a small piece that I used, you know, to run my hot. And there's 2 hots. I know one's red, one's black, but you know, it's all 10 gauge here. So I'm gonna label it when I'm done. So we have our brake controller being wired into the 2000 Savana van. This here wire, our hot and our brake control lines. Can't see it, but it's going down kind of behind the wheel well. I have the van jacked up to get under all these ground effects. You can see up under here, it's tied to like the e-brake line. I'm zip tying it as I go, and then up along here we're gonna zip tie it the whole length of the van, and then tie it into our 7-pin connector. So I went ahead and did a rough run on the length of the van. I bought a 50-foot spool of this 10 gauge. I ran it a little mock run up and I cut it off. Now I'm going to pull that back because I want to run it up and over some things that you can't necessarily fit that roll over. And then it's going to tie in right here to our black and blue. Is going to be our black to black, red to blue back here. That should do the trick for this right there. I'm up under the van. See right here, this is an area I want to run this up over top of that, and I couldn't fit that spool over. So we're going to take it along the e-brake line and figure out how to get it back over that back axle. So here's a look under. I have it go over the frame rail in front of the wheels here, jumps over, and it starts to follow back here. See, it starts to follow this line, which I think is rear AC. It's just got to get over to there. Yeah, and I know I need to get whatever this rubber thing is. I need to get a new bushing there. So here we are at the back of the van. This is coming from the 7-pin right here. We've got the blue and the black and the yellow. Yellow we're not going to worry about. That's like reverse or other stuff. The blue is our brake control, and the black is our power that goes to whatever you're trailering. And we're just gonna butt connect them on with some heat shrink and some electric tape and try to stow it away up here in the little part right here above the hitch in the frame. Final look up under the back. We got our wires all coming together, tucked into the frame here. We got a fresh ground right here. Our wiring's up in there. Comes along, you know, all the way around. Back to our 7-pin right here. Comboed up with a 4-pin. Mounted to the bumper underneath the Explorer rear bumper guard thing. Alright, moment of truth. So we got the power probe here. We're going to go to our 7-pin. That top right pin. That's what it's showing voltage. So that's our steady power. We should be good. I'm going to have to test it with the camper, but not today. I've got my assistant on On the creeper under here, we're gonna clean this out of here. That look like it's coming out to you, Tripper? Alrighty, so we're doing our little test here with our brake controller, 2000 Savana. We have it just in the yard here, hooked up. It's all hooked up here. It's plugged into our 7-pin right there. We tested all the lights, they work good. The one thing that matters the most is do the brakes work. So on this type of controller, the way you do it, you squeeze this side right here. See how you can squeeze it? That's how. So sorry for the beep. If I'm in here, the way I'm testing it, I'm gonna throw her in drive. We're gonna have our brake control here. As you see, there's some adjustments. I need to work on that, but my main thing is it sending a signal. So I'm in park right now, and I'm in drive, and I'm just moving real slow. When I squeeze this, I could feel the brakes on the trailer stop. I don't have my foot on the brake pedal on the van, but the van moves. You can see I'm letting my hand off right now. Van's moving. Pull my thumb on, and it stops it. So that's what's supposed to happen. So good news, we got a brake controller.